We'll call the Grand Blanc Township Planning Commission meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Okay. So for tonight's meeting, I guess we'll go through roll call first. We have present Sarah Hugo, Dolores Clother, Paul Bush, Mike Yansho, and myself, Larry Anderson. Absent are Dan Gillings, Jay Johnson, Jay Hoffman, and Andy Andre. If I pronounced that right? Okay. So, and staff present, we have Jeremy and
Andy.
Andy.
From Giffords
Your
website.
name wasn't on here. Write that down. Okay. All right. Moving on to approval of the agenda. We got some changes to make to tonight's agenda.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'd recommend that we remove 3A, the July 6th minutes, and move that to September's regularly scheduled meeting on the 7th, and also move 7A to the September 7th agenda as well.
And with those,
I'll make that motion.
make that motion. Okay. Motion by Mr. Yancho, support by Mr. Bush. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. All right. Brings us to public comment, and unless anybody up here has anything to say, I see no public presence. Easy enough. Move on there. Jeremy, do you have any correspondence that weren't in the packet
None today.
today? Okay. And no old business. that I
None.
see. Just going to be short and quick.
Hoping so.
New business. Item B, text amendment discussion. Set public hearing.
No, it's not a public hearing.
So we're gonna ask to it be moved to a public hearing.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
I think that's what Maria was alluding to.
Okay.
I'm happy to
ahead.
just present
Yep.
the memo here that was included in your packet. So really the discussion here is we're looking at increasing the I-1 zoning district permissible maximum height a bit higher to 75 feet. That's to match, really to try to have some consistency between Tech Village Park, or the, Tech Village Park District, that a lot of it abuts, as well as just due to changing nature of industry. Kind of the lighter industry manufacturers these days are looking for a bit more height. And I know that, Jeremy gets some calls on that as well. So I think it's really twofold. It's to accommodate for a little bit more flexibility for these industries, as well as looking at what's around generally I-1, and one of those zoning districts is the TVP, which allows for 75 to begin with. So that's our recommendation from a staff standpoint, is to amend it, but we'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. And part of it too, Mr. Chairman, is for consistency up and down I-75. If we already have this allowed in Tech Village, we know it's moving forward. So we're gonna start getting a lot of calls for Tech Village, and a lot of businesses coming in there soon, sooner than later, now that the engineering's in place. So we know there's gonna be a lot of clients coming in for that, and they're gonna want that height too. So this is just to keep all of I-75 as consistent as possible.
Zoning consistent visually from sort of, any discussion then? Or?
I would support this change. I think it's appropriate, given what I see when I drive up and down I-75, especially to the south. And I want to keep Grand Blanc vibrant and available to the industries that may want to move in here.
And the distance of 150 feet from any residentially zoned property.
Right, so there's still that buffer built in, so we are, taking into consideration that any residential that may be around it, so that way they're not bombarded by something that's, a skyscraper, 7 stories, 75 feet, so we still have a buffer built in, and so we want to take care of the residents as well, but we need this to move forward with the new clients that are potentially coming in. And one you may see maybe October, maybe November, so this is,
So this is more than just a demand to anticipated future. It's,
oh, we're anticipating very heavily the future, let's just put it that way.
okay, all right.
This doesn't apply solely to Tech Village.
No, it'll be all of I-1.
I-1.
Yep.
And so, yeah, just our idea as written is right there on that second page of the memo. So anything outside of the 500 feet from I-75 or anything within 150 feet of residential would still be subject to the old
Yeah.
existing standard.
If it's appropriate, I'd make a motion to accept this current language and
Move it to a public hearing
move
next
it to a
month.
public hearing for next month.
Yep.
Support.
Yep.
Motion, Mr. Jancho, support, Ms. Hugo, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
You go. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Committee reports?
Yeah, I was just getting ready for the. Okay. Looks like let's go some over there. He's laughing out quick. Any committee reports? Sarah?
I have nothing to report. Our next meeting is Tuesday.
Last meeting was just Tuesday.
This next meeting is Tuesday, yes.
Paul, you got anything to add for committee reports?
I don't. We did have a BZA meeting for the first time in a year. And the only reason, well, it was 11 months. The only reason we had it was to election of officers for the year, which stayed the same, and it was almost a record meeting there, too.
Wow.
So we actually got to tell each other Happy New Year, finally.
Happy New Year, Happy Easter.
Yeah, yeah.
Happy
So
4th of
Happy
July,
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we went through the whole gamut then. But that was on a Tuesday.
That means that we're making the correct changes to.
Absolutely.
Exactly, that is.
As it was
exactly-
put that night, Jeremy's doing an excellent job. And I kept telling people not to inflate his head, but
It was funny because I talked to Superintendent Limita, and we were going through budget stuff the other day, and he said, "Why is there no revenue under your ZBA line items?" I said, "Dennis, we haven't had a meeting since last September." And he said, "Are you kidding me?" And I said, "I wish I was, but all the changes we're making are working." He goes, "All right, let's keep going." So
Do you want more meetings?
no, we don't. No. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather not if we don't have to, but if we need to, we've got the opportunity to do it. But that just means all the changes that you folks are making working.
Yeah, exactly.
Working. So
Okay, well, if there's no further reports from anybody, everybody's.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 10 after 6.
6:08. Motion to adjourn at 6:08.
Support.
Wait, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
8 minutes.
I think that's a world record too.
Who seconded that motion?
That was seconded by Hugo.
Sarah.